following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown Show, brought to you by Hoop Ball. My name is Adrian Benjamins and I'm joined by Neil Rochlani. And this episode of the Box Score Breakdown Show is brought to you by the Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company. You guys go and get yourself some delicious coffee from Hawaii. Hit up their website. It's hawaiianisles.com. Can also be found easily on Amazon or maybe Cost Plus World Market. Neil, how are you doing this weekend?
Adrian, I got my first bag of Hawaiian Isles Kona coffee, and I have not yet brewed it, but I will this week before we finish out this remainder of the week. I will have some coffee from Hawaii, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, other than that, though, I'm doing well. Basketball, good week, Adrian. You know, I hate to brag, but I just keep winning my leagues. I love it. I have a couple head-to-head victories this week. Rotisserie league, I've got to make a move, I think. I'm doing okay. I'm competing, but I think I need to make a move. So, how about you? How's life?
Life is good. Basketball's okay. I'm doing really bad in a league that I'm in with you. My home league is not going so well either, although things are turning around there. And since that's a roto league with the games cap, I got plenty of time to turn things around. But Neil, where things are doing well is the Hoop Ball Staff League. Currently in second place, and I took on the first place team, which is Eric Ong's team, and I squeaked out a victory this week, 5-4. Either we're going to be tied in first place next week, or I may be in first place with him right behind me. So pretty excited to get a victory there, and things are looking pretty good in that Hoop Ball Staff League right now. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I really care about that league. I don't know why, but I'm super like. Well, I care about all my leagues, but that one feels like I got to do well in. I just want to make sure I hold my own. So, yeah, I'm doing okay.
I agree.
In the Hoop Ball League too as well. All right, on to more general fantasy stuff besides our own personal leagues. We had a trade in the NBA. If it occurred between Trevor Ariza finally got moved. And do you want to break this down, or you want me to talk about it?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Suns, we knew they were going to move Trevor Ariza, moved him to the Wizards for Austin Rivers and Kelly Oubre. And Neil, one of the things that I hate about this trade is it's not like anybody all of a sudden is going to have some outstanding fantasy value. If anything, it more just kind of ruins the value for everybody, or at least that's how I look at it. I'm curious if you look at it differently. And what I mean, for example, is someone like Otto Porter, Trevor Ariza going there. Maybe this hurts Otto Porter. A guy who I got all excited about, like DeAnthony Melton. Now maybe Austin Rivers is going to hurt him. Kelly Oubre joining the Suns. The Suns have a bunch of guys, Josh Jackson, Mikal Bridges, Devin Booker. It's like, could this possibly hurt those guys? So I'm not that excited about this trade at all, Neil. I kind of more look at it like a negative thing for other players. But if I did have to look at one positive, Neil, I have quite a bit of Kyle Anderson. And the original trade that looked like that was going to go through was Kelly Oubre ending up on the Grizzlies, which I think would have just destroyed Kyle Anderson's value. Not that Kyle Anderson even has a high degree of value right now, but the small value that he's clinging on to right now may have been just completely destroyed. So as a Kyle Anderson owner, I'm really happy that Kelly Oubre did not end up in Memphis. But Neil, I'm curious to get your thoughts here, man. What do you think of the whole trade?
Yeah, like what you said about it, basically doesn't help anyone, just hurts people. That's kind of my initial thought too. I picked up Oubre in a league just to see, like about a week ago, on this news that Washington might make a move. And I thought either Oubre would get minutes in Washington or get moved to a team where he would perform, and it could happen in Phoenix, but the Phoenix is just so busy, that team. And not only are they crowded, I don't know what they're going to do, and I don't know if they're going to be consistent about it. So even if Oubre played 30 minutes the first week he was out there, I could see him dropping off and not playing, having some games where he plays 30 minutes, some games where he plays 12 minutes. So this makes it harder for me to believe in Mikal Bridges. Like you said, DeAnthony Melton, there's more risk there. They've got so many young players that are somewhat talented, but we don't know how good they really are. So I don't know how they're going to sort this thing out. And Phoenix has not been a model of consistency. So I would not touch any Suns, or at least not start them. I'm going to hold on to Oubre just to see where it plays out, to see if there's any sort of ability to have a predictive value from that. And then, like you said, I think Ariza hurts Otto a little bit, but pretty much a wash. It hurts him, I think, going to Washington, because he was like the one good quality player out there when Booker was not on the floor, experienced player, and now he's just in with a lot of other guys. So I think he kind of drops even further down the rankings.
Yeah, I agree. And, one other guy that I forgot to mention, Neil, is TJ Warren. I own him in a few leagues, and I'm even scared that Kelly Oubre can hurt him. So we'll see. But just as you said, man, I'm clinging on to Mikal Bridges in some deep 14-team leagues. I might just move on from him without even seeing how this is going to pan out. And I picked up DeAnthony Melton as well in some deep leagues. And so this trade thing kind of just more like bummed me out more than anything else. But anyways, Neil, do you got anything else worth mentioning as far as news and notes? I believe we got a 7-game slate. All the games are final, so I'm going to be able to go through all these games with you. Pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I really hope he can stick it out this time.
Yeah, should we jump into it?
Yeah, let's go right ahead. You want to start us off?
I'll start us off. I'm going to start with the Atlanta Hawks and the Brooklyn Nets. And as my computer, this one, the Nets getting a big win here, 144-127. I'm going to start on the Atlanta side, and I'm going to start with John Collins. 29 points, a block, 2 assists with 8 rebounds. Shot a very nice 13 of 19 from the field, 3 of 6 from the line. Bazemore looking pretty good here, 20 points, 3 steals, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. He also added 3 threes, 6 of 13 from the field, a perfect 5 of 5 from the line. Neil, I'm very curious. I believe Kent Bazemore is going to get moved by the trade deadline, so keep an eye on him. Neil, last week we were talking about how I believe you asked, is there anyone in this front court worth owning? And tonight it was Dwayne Dedmon, man. 24 points, a block, a steal, 3 assists, 12 rebounds. Shot a very nice 8 of 12 from the field. Is this real? Dedmon shot 5 of 5 from 3-point range. That's outstanding. 3 of 4 from the line. Great game from him. I don't know if he could keep this up. I'm not really counting on him to be consistent. So let's just keep an eye on him from now. Trae Young with 13 points, 10 assists, 2 rebounds. 1 3, shot 4 of 10 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. Kevin Huerter, a guy that we were talking about maybe picking up tonight. It didn't happen. I still got 28 minutes in a start, so I'm hoping he's going to bounce back in the next one. But he only took 4 shots here in that 28 minutes, so that's not a great sign. But 4 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Off the bench, they didn't get a lot of help off the bench. They got 8 points from Bembry, 7 from Carter, 6 from Jeremy Lin in only 13 minutes. Neil, what do you think of the Atlanta Hawks?
Yeah, a couple of things you brought up. First of all, Kent Bazemore, he's been phenomenal, especially once Prince unfortunately got injured and went out. And he's been solid all year, but even better since then. I guess you can ride him. I don't think you could sell him. He's 57th currently over on 8 category leagues. I don't know if you can sell him for that high if you're worried about him getting traded, which I think, like you said, is a very real possibility. And even when if he doesn't get traded, Prince coming back will hurt his value. Dedmon's been amazing. Adrian, over the last 2 weeks, he's in the top 40. Crazy. He's 97th overall on per game basis. If he's somehow out there in your league, pick him up. I'd probably not, but there's possibility. I mean, he's not a guy that has a huge reputation. Kevin Werther, I own him in a 14-team league, at least that league, I believe, if not another one. And I'm still sticking with him. I think he's going to great second half of the season. They're going to want to play this guy. He's a good young talent. He's exciting. May not help them win, which they probably want as well. So it's good to have him out there. He's just inside top 200, but the last 2 weeks he's 65th overall in ACAT league, so he's fine from my perspective. So I'm going to roll with him at least in a 14-team league. I can see 12-team leagues him not being relevant just yet. Let's see, and then Jeremy Lin just played 13 minutes. I thought he'd get more time in this game. Revenge game, as they say. I thought he might see some more action, but it didn't happen. So holding off on him. That's really what I got on Atlanta. Anything else before I move on to Brooklyn?
I'm glad you mentioned Turian Prince. I completely forgot about him. Currently out right now with an ankle injury. He's estimated to return maybe at the end of December. So we still got a few weeks maybe. Maybe sell high on Kent Bazemore. As you mentioned, playing pretty well lately. So he definitely will take a hit when Turian Prince returns. Neil, what happened on the other side of this game?
Adrian, you got to help me out with his name. Do you know where I'm going?
Okay, I'm going to try...
Rhodians? I'll do the first name.
Kuruks?
All right, that's
Kuruks.
it. You nailed
Kuruks.
it. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 9 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, 1 3-pointer, 3 turnovers. But he has seen a lot of minutes recently. Ronald Jefferson, this is someone who a lot of us have given up on for good reason. He's 236 in 8 category leagues. Tonight had a very good game. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 of 10 shooting, 5 of 6 from the line, 1 3-pointer, 2 steals. Take it with a grain of salt. It's against Atlanta. So we always have to kind of throw that in there. But, I was listening to Fantasy NBA today on Friday, and Brewski thinks Rondé Hollis-Jefferson may be worth owning. So keep that in mind as well. Jared Allen, 15 minutes, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 5 of 6 from the field, 1 of 1 from the line, 2 blocks. Really disappointing. Only played 15 minutes. Did have 4 fouls. Did not get injured, though, from what I'm seeing. D'Angelo Russell had a phenomenal game. 32 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists on 13 of 19 shooting, 5 3-pointers, 2 steals, no turnovers. That's a great line for him. Joe Harris trying to make this guy still happen. Played 26 minutes tonight, 16 points, a rebound, 6 assists. Doesn't take many shots, but he was over 50%, 4-7 from the field, 3 3-pointers, 5 of 6 from the line, and a steal and a turnover. I'm still watching Joe Harris. I think there are better options out there for like a 3-point guy. Even though he took 6 shots on him, made 3 of them. I should mention Damari Carroll got 31 minutes, 15, 2, and 1, but I don't think he's going to get enough time to really make it worthwhile. I think this was something of an Atlanta blowout that allowed him to get that many minutes. Ed Davis did play 28 minutes, 8, 10, and 5 on 4-7 shooting with 1 steal and a block. Jared Dudley, 25 minutes, and then Spencer Dinwiddie had a solid game with 15 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. 8 of 8 from the field, 1 3-pointer. Adrian, I get ahead of myself on the analysis part, but let me just walk back up. First of all, Joe Harris, I'm keeping an eye on. I think he still could have some value later in the year, but I think there are better options right now in 12-team leagues. I think he should be on a 14-team league. So let's see. D'Angelo Russell continues to play solidly. He's the number 1 fantasy option on this team. Good for him. Like you mentioned earlier, he's in a contract year. He really needs to produce, and he's doing it so far this year. 53rd I have on per-game basis. Rodian, I don't know what to make of him. I've never even seen him play yet. Have you seen this guy's game? Do you have any insight for me? And then finally, before I turn it over to you, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, I'm not picking him up. Are you at all interested in him? Because we know in previous years he's been fantasy-worthy.
Neil, I think I'm kind of taking the opposite standpoint as you. I actually think it's time to make a move on Joe Harris. 3 games in a row, 16 points tonight, 19 points in the last game, 14 points the last game before that, 11. So he's double-digit points in the last 4. He's shooting over 55% from the field, and he shoots a lot of outside shots. So pretty efficient outside shooter. Can provide threes and scoring. He's in a starting role. He's getting close to 30 minutes a game for this team. I think it's time to move on Joe Harris. And then I've always been a little bit higher on Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. He's been really disappointing. So I'm actually really happy to see him have a nice game here. Only played 23 minutes. Could have been because of the blowout. Of course, as you mentioned, against the Atlanta Hawks. So we got to kind of take this game with a grain of salt. The Hawks are horrible defensively. But I do still believe in Hollis-Jefferson. I think he's worth an add. Kurux is the guy that I don't know. This is a nice game from him. He has shown flashes of this, Neil. So I could be wrong here, but I would bet on these other guys before I pick him up. But in deep leagues, like 14 teams and deeper, maybe he's worth a flyer to see what happens here. I don't know, Neil. Neil, any closing thoughts on the Nets?
No. Yeah, I like you said, still trying to figure out Rodion, and also I like your take on Harris. I'd miss a little cautious on it, but yes, I think he has proven recently he's been phenomenal. All right, you want to move on to our second game?
Next game up, I got the Sixers and the Cavs. This one looks like it was a blowout, and it was the Sixers getting the victory here, 128-105. I'm going to jump in on the Philly side, and I'm going to start with Ben Simmons. Triple-double, man. And pretty outstanding. 22 points, 14 assists with 11 rebounds, a steal, 9 of 15 from the field, 4 of 5 from the line. Wilson Chandler with an okay game here. 11 points with 2 blocks, 3 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 of 10 from the field, 2 threes tonight, 1 of 1 from the line. I don't know if I trust this from Chandler. Maybe it was the blowout. Maybe it was the easy matchup against the Cavs. He's just usually, has such a low usage on this team. It's the top 3 guys that are so dominant here that just suck up all the stats that there's really not much left for some of these other guys. So I'm not super high on Wilson Chandler. Joel Embiid here with a nice game. 24 points, a block, 2 assists, 9 rebounds. Shot a nice 10 of 16 from the field. 4 of 6 from the line. J.J. Redick with 14 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Doing what he does, which is provide threes. 2 threes, 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from the line. Jimmy Butler with 19 points. Little disappointing in the other categories. Only 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. 3 threes is nice, though. And shot a nice 6 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from the line. Off the bench, they got a major boost from Shamet, 16 points for him. They got 8 points from Muscala and 8 points from TJ McConnell. Neil, what do you think of the Sixers?
Yeah, I agree with you. There's basically the top 3 guys are just phenomenal. And then, there's a J.J. Redick there at the bottom end that you could kind of roll with. He's been fine as well. But there's really no one else there that's worth owning. I think Wilson Chandler, even if he has a big game here and there, he had as you said, a solid game tonight. He's still not worth owning. Maybe you stream him if you're going in a head-to-head league and you need extra 3-pointers. He might help you there, but other than that, I don't think he's worth owning. Same with McConnell, Muscala, Korkmaz, Shamet. All these guys are just kind of like afterthoughts. So nothing new there, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, Butler's back and healthy. I thought he might be out for a longer time. I was surprised. I thought Korkmaz might get some value if Butler was out an extended period of time. And Korkmaz, that is, had a starting role. But clearly, Jimmy doesn't like to sit on the sidelines. He likes to get out there and play ball. And God bless him. He plays well. All right, I'll go over anything else before I go to Cleveland.
Nope.
All right, the Cavaliers. Let's start with the guy I think you and I both like them best on this team, Colin Sexton. 30 minutes tonight, 12 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists on 6 of 13 shooting, 2 steals. Decent night for him. With Tristan Thompson out, they started Ante Ziz. I can't pronounce this either. God, this is so bad.
Zizic, I think.
Thank you, Zizic. 17 minutes, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 of 4 shooting, 1 of 2 from the line, and a steal. I can do Alec Burks. 26 minutes, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 of 10. Struggle tonight. I've been watching him to see if somehow he takes over. I think he's a quality player on this team that lacks talent, but it's not working out for him this season in Cleveland. Chetty Osman, I think you can hold this guy. I know he's going to struggle, but they really want to play him lots of minutes and give him lots of shots. Tonight, played 35 minutes, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 6 of 10 shooting. Struggled a bit from the line, 4-7. Did make 2 3-pointers, though, and had a steal. Single turnover. Rodney Hood started as well. 13 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists for him. 5 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 3-pointers, and a steal. Off the bench, Jordan Clarkson. He may be their best scorer. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 of 16 from the field. Certainly takes the most shots. 4 of 4 from the line, 2 3-pointers, 2 turnovers. Larry Nance Jr., 7 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 of 7 from the field, and a steal. Dellavedova gets 22 minutes. Nwaba gets 15. Adrian. I think if the Cavs had no players except for Larry Nance on this roster, he would still not start. I think they would start with no players, and then somewhere through the first period, they would sub him in. This guy, is he just hated by the starting? Does he just not want to start? Does the staff hate him? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And, the other day we talked about Vonleh versus Nance, and once Tristan Thompson went down, it was conventional wisdom. It has to be Nance, but I just don't trust what Cleveland does with him. I mean, it's not a bad line tonight, but anyway, that's my biggest beef here. Other than that, I don't really, Osman I know has struggled, but gosh, at some point I think he's going to be okay. Same with Sexton. These guys are young. They're going to make a lot of mistakes, but they're going to get so much playing time. I think at some point their fantasy value comes around. So at least target them later, if not put them on your roster yet. Other than those two guys, I don't really like anyone until Love gets back or Thompson gets back. So what are your thoughts?
I agree with you, and it just Coach Drew does not like Larry Nance Jr. I don't know what he did to rub him the wrong way. If it's not going to happen with Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson out, it's just not going to happen. It's pretty disappointing because, Larry Nance Jr. is a young guy that's their number one priority right now. Should just be developing their young core. And to me, it seems like a no-brainer that he falls under that category. So I don't know why. I've been one of the biggest proponents on, go get Larry Nance because I love his skill set, man. I mean, he could possibly bring those defensive stats, the rebounds, the scoring, and it seems like it seems like a perfect fit with this team being so bad. Like he could step in and just fill that void, but no, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, man. And at this point, I am swaying to that other side now, Neil, where I don't believe it's going to happen anymore. So, all right, I think that's it for this game. Let's move on. Next game I got up is the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers, and the Pacers got the victory here, 110-99. I'm going to take a look on the New York Knicks side. I'm going to start with Enes Kanter. Big double-double, 20 points with 15 rebounds. No defensive stats, but shot a nice 7 of 11 from the field, 5 of 5 from the line. Tim Hardaway Jr. with 19 points, a block, 2 steals, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 3. He shot 8 of 18 from the field, 2 of 3 from the line. Kevin Knox is a really popular pickup the last few games. He's really turned it on in the starting lineup now. Who knows if this is a permanent thing or not, and we don't know anything when it comes to the New York Knicks. But I think it's time to, if Knox is still sitting there in your league, time to move on him. 15 points, 2 steals, and assists, 4 rebounds. He added 3 threes, shot 6 of 15 from the field, 0 of 2 from the line. Going to be a little bit of a rocky road here with Knox due to the inefficient shooting. his inability sometimes to provide in multiple categories, but let's see what he can do. Noah Vonleh, I got him in quite a few leagues, played him all over. Really disappointed with the 7 points. He only shot 3 of 10, but I love that he got 12 rebounds with 3 assists and a steal. He also added a 3. Better times, hopefully, are down the road for Vonleh. Another guy probably picked up already everywhere. Make sure he is Emmanuel Mudiay with 18 points, a steal, 6 assists, a 3, 5 of 11, 7 of 10 from the line. It looks like he is the guy to own in this backcourt. So make sure he is not sitting on the wire. Courtney Lee with 7 points. Trey Burke is back, played 13 minutes, only had 3 points. Neil Aquina, it's not happening for Neil Aquina, only 3 points. Neil, what do you think? You know what? I should also mention Cornette, who had a big game on the last one, only 9 minutes tonight. I was not excited for him when he blew up in that last game. Only had 5 points. Neil, what do you think of the Knicks, man?
I like what you said about Knox. I will just be. I think it's time, like you said. When you said move on from on him, you mean to pick him up, right? Is that
yes,
what you meant?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought you meant. And I just will caution you: his free throw percentage is just horrible. I know it's a small sample size, but he is shooting 50% from the free throw line on 3 attempts a game, and so that's killing his value. Other than that, he would be way inside the top 100 over the last couple weeks. And I agree with you on Mudiay too. I mean, as long as Burke's out, Trevor Burke's out, I don't see this. It's got full steam ahead. I think he's actually available at least to one of my leagues, so I'm gonna go put a bid on him tonight and see if I can get him. He's been so solid in the last few weeks. I think inside the top 50, at least over the last week. And I think Vonleh is going to be okay. Had a solid night tonight, 31 minutes. I trust his minutes. I trust his rebounds. Points aren't. He took 10 shots though. Unfortunately, they did not go down. But usually he can. If he gets 10 shots, he's going to get a double-double. So we'll see how that plays out. That's really it. Certainly not going to pick up Mario Hezonja. What happened to that guy this year? Just did not.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, he just has not. Maybe he's too lit for New York. We've heard that story before. So maybe that's what's going on with him. Anyway, Indiana. I'm going to move over there unless you have anything else to add on the Knicks.
Hey, just super quick, want to say I pulled up Kevin Knox's game log real quick. Last 4 games, 15 points, 20 points, 19 points, 26 points, had a 15 rebound game in there, has not played less than 32 minutes in the last 4 games, has cracked the starting lineup. It's time. I'm glad that you mentioned the free throw shooting. Didn't project as a bad free throw shooter coming into the draft. So I'm hoping this is somewhat of an outlier. I'm hoping he turns that around. All right. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no. That's good to note. Let's see. On the Indiana side, let's start with Victor Oladipo. He looks fully healthy now that he's back in there. Played 36 minutes tonight. Great to see that. 26 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists on 7 of 13 shooting, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 5 3-pointers, 5 steals. That's what we need from him. 4 turnovers, no blocks tonight. Let's go next with Miles Turner, who is he's just delighted his owners after just totally disappointing them. He's back in at 24 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist on 10 of 19 shooting. He's a solid shooter, 3 or 4 from the line, 3-pointer, 2 blocks. Let's go with Thaddeus Young next. He's been a nice sort of he's had a few good games tonight. Kind of just a boring Thad game though. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists on 5 of 9 shooting. Did have a steal and a block. Bojan Bogdanovic, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists on 4 of 12 shooting, 3 of 3 from the line, a 3-pointer and a steal. Darren Collison just played 17 minutes tonight. Looks like he was in foul trouble, had 5 fouls at one point. 3 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, a very quiet line from him, a 3-pointer. Corey Joseph was able to see 30 minutes tonight, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists on 2 of 8 shooting, and a steal. Sabonis off the bench, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 of 10 shooting, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 steal. And then the guy who I think they're going to try to get some run is you talked about Aaron Holiday, the third Holiday in the NBA. That's just incredible. Anyway, tonight 7 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. I mean, I don't know if I had two brothers if we could all go to an NBA game at the same time, let alone play in the NBA. That's nuts. Anyway, here I want to throw something out to you. I'm gonna throw a curveball. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
I'm gonna throw you out like a hot seat question. Is that okay?
All right. Yes.
Because I got a question on Twitter, and I'm not gonna tell you how I answered, but I'm curious about what you think. So 9 category league. I was asked, would you trade Domantas Sabonis for Kyle Anderson and Gordon Hayward?
Ooh, you said 9 category league?
Yes.
How? Okay, this is important. Yeah. How deep is this league? Because if this is like,
20.
What's that?
20.
20? Ooh. Kyle Anderson. And who is the second player?
Gordon Hayward.
Oh, man.
This one's a really hard one for me, but at the end, I kind of reasoned it out. So what do you think?
I would like to know if he's taking Kyle. I am going to answer this question without knowing this, but I would like to know. So if let's say he is the Sabonis owner and he's taking on two players.
Sabonis. Yes.
I'm really curious who he's dropping, but I'm gonna say I think I would go ahead and make this trade just based off of, look, I think Sabonis is the best player in this trade. In a vacuum, I would much rather have Sabonis, but based on the 20-team depth, I think I would rather have Kyle Anderson. I like how Gordon Hayward has looked lately. I think Gordon Hayward is going to start getting more confident and better as the season goes on. Neil, I'm not a big Celtics fan. I avoided the Celtics due to how crowded their situation is, but I still believe Gordon Hayward's going to put up some decent value. So I think just based on the depth, I'm going to go with the two guys here. But I love Sabonis. I own Sabonis in numerous leagues. I've been delighted with him, but I think I'm going to go with the two guys. Neil, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I recommend staying with Sabonis.
Okay.
Only because at the end, this is my thought process was I do believe in Hayward. It's going to get better. I think it's one of those injuries that he gets better through the season. But Sabonis has just been crushing it, and I know Turner's been up a bit, but Sabonis is getting constant minutes, and I think he's going to produce what he's been producing all season. And then on terms of Kyle Anderson, they almost traded for Kelly Oubre, so I'm afraid they're going to make a move and maybe Anderson gets squeezed a bit, and so I'd rather have that bird in the hand than try to take a chance on Anderson. So anyway, I could see it breaking either way, though. I think it's a very, very fair trade.
You know what? I'm going to add a little bit more info that kind of leans towards your side, Neil. Gordon Hayward currently in 9 cat leagues. Outside the top 100, he's 103. Kyle Anderson's 133, while Sabonis right now is at 78. So I kind of like your take now, man. Get the guy who's in the top 80, who's 78 over the guys that are out of the top 100. Yeah, I could see that, man. So very interesting. Very interesting question. I like it. Thanks for sharing that.
All right. You want to go on to the next game or anything else on – I don't know if you had any other comments on Indiana.
Just that, man, I am so happy to see Victor Oladipo back. I think I mentioned it on the last show. My home league team was missing him big time. And, man, this line from him tonight – I needed this, Neil. I need this guy back and healthy, and I'm really excited to see him back. All right, going to move into the next one. I think the next game I got up is the Los Angeles Lakers and the Washington Wizards, and pretty surprised that this one was a blowout, and the Wizards getting the victory here, 128-110. I'm going to jump in on the Lakers side. Going to start with Lonzo Ball, 10 points. The defensive stats is fantastic. 3 steals, 2 blocks, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 threes tonight, 4 of 11 from the field. LeBron James, this was a real letdown game from him. Only shot 5 of 16 for 13 points and a block, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. That's a pretty bad game from LeBron. We have such high expectations from him. Kyle Kuzma has been playing pretty good. 20 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 9 of 15 from the field, 2 from the line. Did have 6 turnovers tonight, which kind of hurt. Hart here, not so great, only 4 points in 21 minutes. Chandler got the start. Tyson Chandler got the start over JaVale McGee. McGee actually didn't even play in this game, so hopefully he's not dealing with anything serious. But only 2 points, 2 steals, 7 rebounds for Tyson Chandler. Off the bench, they got a big game and possible trade candidate. Big game from Contavious Caldwell-Pope. 25 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Had 4 threes tonight, 9 of 12 from the field, flashing that scoring that a lot of teams need. You know, maybe this was somewhat of a showcase here. Lance Stevenson, 12 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. 3 threes tonight, 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 4 from the line. Neil, I saw him get teed up the other game for playing that. He played like this air guitar thing after hitting a 3, and the ref just like teed him up. It was crazy. Mo Wagner with 12 points in just 17 minutes. Neil, what do you think of the crazy Los Angeles Lakers?
Crazy Lance. He is such an original. I love that guy. He's just so entertaining out there. The Lakers are on a back-to-back, so they had a big win in Charlotte the night before, so maybe they just kind of phoned this one in, and the Wizards were just totally outplayed them today. Josh Hart, though, really disappointing. 20 minutes, 2 for 10 shooting, missed all his three-pointers. This guy had an opportunity with Ingram out to really showcase his skills, and for us fantasy streamers, try to put up some value, and it's just been a complete dud. It looks like Ingram should be back next game. Or 12-21, so one more game. And then, like you said, McGee, he had flu-like symptoms, so nothing serious there. Just took the night off or day off once they realized he couldn't go, and I'm sure he'll be back for next game. Or expect him to. Yeah, and like you say, KCP, just maybe a showcase game, or they were down so big, maybe just let him run and get the starters some rest. So not much else to add. Go ahead.
Super quick, I want to ask you, there's a lot of buzz here in the LA area that the Lakers will not part with any of their young core due to they want to try to make a run at Anthony Davis, and they believe they need these young pieces to make a trade. What do you think about that? You think that's a possibility? Do you think Anthony Davis would be a good fit in LA? I know you're a big Anthony Davis fan. Would you be disappointed if he got moved to the Lakers? What do you think?
I mean, I would love to see Anthony Davis play with LeBron, and I'd love to see Anthony Davis be surrounded by more talented players and have a chance to win it all. I just wish it wasn't the Lakers. Sorry, no offense. I wish it was some other franchise that, it's kind of hard luck franchise, but it's and this thing about not getting rid of young players, that just strikes me as a rumor to keep all the young guys still excited. I don't know. I think they are going to get rid of at least one of them, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I know Davis's agent is now LeBron's agent, right? They're in the same group, so I think it could happen. All right, on to the Wizards side. Oh, anything else before I do the Wizards? Okay. John Wall had a monster game here. 40 points, 6 rebounds, 14 assists. Adrian, I didn't take him in DFS because I was worried that Lonzo might shut him down. God bless, was I wrong about that? 16 of 27 from the field. 4 3-pointers, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. I think I'm going to have his picture up on the box score breakdown tonight because he's had a monster game. Bradley Beal had a solid game as well. 25 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists on 10 of 24 shooting, 4 3-pointers. Each of those had 5 turnovers, each of those players. All right, 2 guys we're kind of watching to see if they can be startable. Start with Thomas Satoransky, 46 minutes tonight. That's nuts in a blowout game. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 4-7 shooting, 3-pointer, 3 steals. Thomas Bryant, 8 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists on 4 of 8 shooting and a steal. And then Jeff Green gets a start with Otto Porter out. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist on 8 of 15 shooting, 4 3-pointers and a block. I did pick up Green for, or at least I did start him, I think, in the DFS league. Off the bench, Decker gets 22 minutes, 25 and 4. Markieff Morris only plays 11 minutes. Looks like he had a sore neck. So I'm seeing that on one side. On the other side, I'm not seeing any injury news, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with him. Troy Brown played 15 minutes as well. All right, so we know about Beal and Wall. We know to stream Jeff Green when Otto's out. What about Satoransky and Bryant? I own Satoransky. I think at one point I dropped him. I only want to own Satoransky if Wall is gone. And Bryant, I don't think is worth owning, at least in standard leagues. What are your thoughts on those two guys?
I agree with you 100%. Satoransky is the handcuff for John Wall. He is starting right now. It's really strange that they start John Wall, Satoransky, and Beal all together. It's like a three-headed guard lineup. But anyways, look, we got no Otto Porter. Trevor Ariza is not in this lineup yet, so I'm not that excited about Jeff Green. Even I really liked what I saw from Sam Decker tonight with the 20 points in 22 minutes off the bench, but I don't think you can move on any of these guys until we see Otto Porter back and Trevor Ariza part of this rotation. So, yeah, it's just really tough to really read too much into this game without them having all of their guys in here. So anyways, that's my thoughts. Any final thoughts here, Neil?
No, I agree with you there. Yeah, Ariza will take over for Satoransky in the starting lineup, I assume, and Porter for Green. So you're just looking at Thomas Bryant, perhaps, and he just hasn't proven himself to be fantasy worthy.
Nope. All right, man. I'm gonna jump. Let's keep moving along here. I'm gonna jump in the next one. Sacramento Kings and the Dallas Mavericks. And this was a pretty good game. I got to catch a lot of this one. 120 Kings over the Mavs, 120 to 113. And I'm going to start on the Kings side. And I'm going to start with a guy that I've enjoyed watching this season. And Neil, getting to watch this game tonight, I did not realize how fast this guy is. De'Aaron Fox is there were a couple plays, Neil, where he was like on a different speed level than any other guy on the court, and it wasn't close. 28 points tonight, a block, 3 steals, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 11 of 19, shot very efficient, perfect 6 of 6 from the line. It was a great game from him. Buddy Hield having a pretty good season as well. 28 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, doing what he does, which is get threes. He had 3 of them tonight, 12 of 23 from the field, 1 of 1 from the line. It's a good game from him. Bogdanovich with 15 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 threes, 4 of 11 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line. No Marvin Bagley. Bagley's out right now due to a minor injury. Nemanja Bjelica here, stepping up, playing 35 minutes, had 15 points, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks. Not known as a defensive monster or anything like that, but we love the 4 blocks. 4 threes tonight, 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. It's a good game from him. Cauley Stein with 12 points and 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, a block, 4 of 10 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. Off the bench, not too much to talk about. They got 8 points from Kufis, but not too much here. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Sacramento Kings? They looked really good reality-wise.
They look like a very solid team, at least compared to what we've seen in the past from them. No longer a joke, but a very competitive team out west. And it's unfortunately Bagley got hurt. Like you said, he's going to be out for a while. It looks like he's not until after the new year at some point will he come back in, which gives Bjelica some fantasy value again. Double-double, like you said. I think he could be streamed until Bagley is back if he is on the waiver wire. Other than that, no real changes. De'Aaron Fox, like I said, I drafted him in the league all because of you, Adrian. I was really nervous to take him, but you were high on him, and I had to trust my guy, so I took him.
Man,
and he's really paid off. Like he's been phenomenal.
There was one play in this game, Neil, where De'Aaron Fox grabbed the rebound and just raced down the court, and nobody could touch him. He was running so fast, and then a guy went to challenge him at the rim, and he threw this perfect lob for Willie Cauley-Stein, this like alley-oop dunk. And I'm telling you, man, De'Aaron Fox looks fantastic. I like you, Neil. I drafted him in quite a few leagues, and I've been really happy with him. Very nice to see a young guy make that leap. It's just, there's nothing better than seeing somebody make that improvement and make that leap. It's fantastic, man.
Yeah, when he first came in the league, I was a little worried about his shooting. You know, you can't be a guard in this league without being able to shoot, and so I was nervous about that. And he's I forget what I was on the year, but he's been fantastic. Just look this up really quickly. He is 47% on the year, so he's shooting just fine. 40% from 3-point land, so fantastic. And like you said, he's everything sounds like he's just a great young man. So happy to see him progress and leading this team to competitiveness at the very least. We'll see how it plays out by season's end. All right, on to the Dallas side. Speaking of great young men, you know where I'm going with this. Luka Doncic. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists on 9 of 15 shooting. Did struggle from the line, though, 9 of 14. 3-pointer and a steal, 5 turnovers. DeAndre Jordan, monster night on the boards. Scored 8 points, had 23 boards, 3 assists, 4 of 7 shooting, and 3 blocks. Wesley Matthews, 32 minutes, 13 points, no rebounds, 4 assists on 4 of 13 shooting, 3 3-pointers, 2 steals. Harrison Barnes, 29 minutes, 15 points, 2 rebounds, and 0 assists. He's been struggling from the field. 5 of 16 tonight, just shooting 41% on the year. 3 3-pointers and a steal and a block. Dennis Smith Jr. out again tonight, so Jalen Brunson, the rookie, gets the start. Plays 30 minutes, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 of 13. You know, I have not seen him play Adrian, but I don't think the one thing that kind of bothered me watching him in college was I didn't think he had the quickness like you're talking about De'Aaron Fox. I don't know if he's going to – we'll see how good he gets in the pros, but I'm a little worried about his game going forward. Dorian Finney-Smith, 22 minutes, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 of 4 from the field. Not much to talk about his value in terms of fantasy, 153. So outside looking in. Devin Harris played 18 minutes. Dwight Powell, 18 minutes. Maxi Kleber, 11. And Nowitzki gets 8 minutes. A couple things to note here. One, we all knew Dirk wasn't going to be fantasy relevant this year, but I did not think he was going to be this slow to ramp up once he got back. I don't know. Do you think he's ever going to see like 20 minutes a game?
Dirk? Yeah, I think eventually he can, but man, we're definitely not going to ever, I think, pick up Dirk again. I hate to say it, one of the greatest of all time, but it's just not going to happen for him, I don't think. Like he's never going to be in that like starter type role ever again. I don't think. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I'm thinking more reality wise. I mean, I know he's not going to be fantasy relevant anymore in his career, but I thought he was going to, when they talked about having him start, but only playing like 15 to 20 minutes a game, I'm not sure he's ever going to get a real role in this team. You know, if they're going to try to make the playoffs, I don't think he's an asset anymore in terms of basketball. Anyway, we can leave that alone. Any thoughts on Brunson if he's starting, or any thoughts on these 2 wing players as well, Matthews and Barnes? I kind of avoid both of those as well.
You know what's really interesting is you got to see Brunson in college and I didn't. So I've really only seen Brunson play in the NBA, and I do agree with you. He definitely doesn't have that like speed advantage that you look for in point guards. But one thing that I do like about him, Neil, is he is very confident. Like you could tell he is not scared at all. He's willing to take the shot if the game's like on the line. He'll take it. He drives in. There's big defenders there guarding the basket. He'll drive in on them, not scared of contact. So I love the confidence here. I really do like him. I actually I picked him up last week to just as like a game flyer because Barea was out, Dennis Smith Jr. was out with a wrist injury, and had a couple of good games last week. Now I don't think he's somebody we're going to rush to pick up because Dennis Smith Jr. will be back, and he's basically just filling in for Dennis Smith Jr. But long-term outlook, I think they got a steal here. He wasn't even in my radar at all on a draft day. I didn't even think he would be viable at all. So he has surprised me in a positive way. And then Neil, I love Luka Doncic. I just gotta say, I saw this on Twitter. Michael Jordan, after 26 games, his rookie year, had 451 points. Luka Doncic, after 26 games, 463 points. It is official. Luka Doncic is better than Michael Jordan. What do you think, Neil?
Hot take. I love it. Yeah, don't say that out loud in Chicago. Chicago bar.
I'm just kidding, you guys. I'm just kidding. But hey, I love Luka. Now, the one thing, if I had to gripe, had 5 turnovers tonight, only shot 9 of 14 from the line. So not super great there, but hey, he's having an outstanding season. Shoe-in for Rookie of the Year, if you ask me. All right, Neil, where should we go next? Oh, that was the Mavericks. Any closing thoughts on this game?
No, let's move on.
All right, next game I got up, the Miami Heat and the New Orleans Pelicans. It was the Heat getting the victory here, 102-96. Gonna jump in on the Heat side. Gonna start with Josh Richardson. He's been real up and down lately. I'm really happy to see him get 22 points tonight. Scoring, 9 of 20 is not super efficient, but 2 threes, perfect 2 of 2 from the line. He also added a rebound, 4 assists, 3 steals. You'll take that from him. Whiteside, nice to see him back. Big double-double, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. He shot 8 of 14 from the field, 1 of 3 from the line. Magruder, I hope nobody played him tonight. He put up 0 of 6 game in 23 minutes. He did have 8 rebounds and 3 assists. Probably got to be in a deeper league if you're playing Magruder. James Johnson, still not really happening for him. 3 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. He's starting, but he's still not really getting starter-type minutes. So I don't think we can count on him. Justice Winslow with only 2 points, 3 assists in 15 minutes. Off the bench, it was Tyler Johnson in 26 minutes getting 15 points. Dwayne Wade with 19 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists in 23 minutes. This team's kind of messy, Neil. They're still waiting to get Goran Dragic back. Wayne Ellington was out of this one. Dion Waiters, although I don't know, will we ever see Dion Waiters? Has he even played at all this season? I don't think so. What do you think of the Miami Heat?
Yeah, the Miami Heat are also someone I don't trust outside a couple of their big players like Richardson and then Dragic when he's healthy and Whiteside. It's really hard to, like you said, Magruder at one point was fantasy relevant, has long since lived up to that. Olynyk, I kind of picked up just to see if it starts to turn for him because he's been good recently, but tonight it's just he played 32 minutes and didn't put up enough fantasy value, so I might move on from him. It's hard with this rotation outside their top players. Like Adebayo, they're good player. He's a good player, I think. Olynyk's a good player. Tyler Johnson is actually pretty good. But they just don't have enough fantasy value for me to ever put him in a games cap league. So same with James Johnson. Yeah, it's kind of a frustrating team because there are players on here that I think have the NBA talent. If they had the roles that I would like to see, I would trust them, but I just don't trust from a night-to-night basis they're gonna see enough usage to put up value outside of Richardson and Whiteside, and then of course Dragic when he's healthy I think is still worth owning. That's all I got. Any thoughts from you before I move on to New Orleans?
Nope.
Okay, so the Pelicans here, I will say they're playing well though to win in New Orleans. That's pretty impressive. Mirotic was out unfortunately on their side. Sore ankle looks like. Hopefully be back soon. Anthony Davis, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. He won my league for blocks this week. 3 blocks, 3 steals, 10 of 19 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line, 2 3-pointers, single turnover. Julius Randle gets the start and replacement for Mirotic. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. 6 of 13 from the field, 4 or 5 from the free throw line, a 3-pointer, a steal, and a block. Drew Holiday, played 41 minutes, ultimately fouled out. Did put up 22 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists on 8 of 19 shooting, 4 3-pointers, 3 steals, and a block. Solomon Hill, 26 minutes, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. I'm glad I didn't start Tim Frazier. My gosh. I thought about doing him in DFS. 12 minutes, 0 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. If you're streaming him, you're probably banging your head against the wall right now. Etuan Moore did play well, though, in reserve, 35 minutes, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 10, shooting 3 3-pointers and a steal. Darius Miller got 31 minutes, but didn't do much with it, just 3 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 1 of 9, including 1 of 8 from three-point land, a steal, and a turnover. And that's really it off the bench. Oh, gosh, what do you think here? Tim Frazier, I know, were you streaming him at one point? Are you still streaming him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
Are you gonna just roll with it until as long as he's in there, or are you gonna drop him after this game? Or
I'm gonna move him to. I'm one of the guys. I actually had him in my lineup tonight, and man, I'm as you said, I'm one of these guys banging my head against the wall right now, man. No, and really, Neil, this is crazy because he wasn't in any foul trouble. There's no reported injury that I can find, so I don't know what is going on here. Nobody off the bench got hot. Frank Jackson and Andrew Harrison didn't do anything. So I don't get this at all, man. He's been seeing big minutes every single game. I don't know what's happening here, but if I have to grasp at straws and the Heat backcourt does have some size. Maybe Tim Frazier, he couldn't guard the Heat. These guards from the Heat, Josh Richardson is a problem. So I don't know, man. I'm just trying to make sense of this. But I'm going to hang on to him, but I'm definitely not going to play him till he has a good game. Luckily, in this Roto League is my home league. I can afford to just kind of watch stash guys on my bench. I don't have to play them because it's a games cap limit. So I'm moving him to my bench after this game, Neil. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they didn't start a true point guard, Miami, so size might have been an issue for him. Not only is he not very tall, he's just not a very big guy. Secondly, I would say I want to note that it looks like Randall got hurt in this game and is expected out until the 21st of the month. So
wow,
a few days out. So they're going to be depleted. Hopefully Mirotic will come back next game. And otherwise, there might be some streaming options there if they're both out.
I want to note on the other side, too, because I know we get killed if we miss stuff here. Justice Winslow, he also went out in this game from the Heat side. It looks like an ankle injury. He went out in the third, did not return. This could be why he started but only saw 15 minutes. So we just want to note that as well.
Yeah, and his percentages are just so tough that he's someone that's off my radar. So even in 14-team leagues. So, but yeah, good to note that he's injured or he got injured and maybe out another game. We'll see. All right, I think we're down to one last game.
One last game, and Neil, it's still going on in the first quarter, so I gotta get out of here, man. Just kidding, man. This one's all wrapped up. Let's get into this. Final score, 86-95. The Nuggets beating the best team. That's right. I said the best team in the NBA, the Toronto Raptors. The Nuggets getting the victory, 95-86. But I am going to start with the Raptors. Going to start with a big letdown for me. Neil, I just told you I played Tim Frazier in my home league. Another guy that I played in my home league is Danny Green. He also had a bad game, 7 points in just 38 minutes. He played a whopping 38 minutes and just gave me 7 points. Did have 5 rebounds, a steal, a 3, but man, I was expecting much more from him. A guy that did not disappoint was Kawhi Leonard. Big double-double here. 29 points with 14 boards, 4 assists. He had a 3, 12 of 21 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. It was DeLon Wright getting the start, playing 38 minutes for 15 points with 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal. 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 3 from the line. Serge Ibaka, Valanciunas is going to be out for the foreseeable future. Serge Ibaka is going to be your guy in that front, in the center spot. 14 points, a block, 7 rebounds, a 3, 6 of 10 from the field, 1 of 1 from the line. Miles got the start here, only shot 2 of 12 in 33 minutes for 6 points, 2 steals and assists, 4 rebounds. Off the bench, they got some help from OG Anunoby, 7 points. Not too much else, though, man. Lowry missed this one. That is key. Lowry was out. Pascal Siakam was out on this one. You know what, Neil? I'm giving the Raptors a pass here. Missing 2 of their key cogs right here. No Lowry, no Siakam. So, no Van Vliet as well. Van Vliet has been playing really good off the bench. So missing some really key guys here. Neil, what do you think of the Raptors?
Yeah, they were injured tonight. They were beat up. So unfortunately, it was hard to really see how they stack up against Denver, who was also one of the better teams this year in terms of records. And Denver won, kind of going away there at the end. You know, I was curious to see how Danny Green was going to perform with all these guys out. Like, would he take a bigger role? And it looks like no. I mean, he played a lot of minutes, but fantasy value did not really budge. So the opportunity was there. No, go ahead.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I feel like anytime you feel like there's an opportunity for Danny Green to get a boost, he never gets that boost. Like, he only really plays well when their team is complete. It's so strange, man.
It is. Yeah, 30 shots were out tonight between Lowry, Siakam, and Van Fleet. And Danny Green scores 7. So not much there. Anyway, I'm going to go on to, DeLon Wright played well. I mean, these guys played well. They're solid. This is a solid team up and down. It's just they're not getting enough minutes like DeLon Wright. If he was a starter on a night-to-night basis, I think he could be owned. Even C.J. Miles had it. Well, no, I take that back about C.J. Miles. DeLon Wright could be a starter, fantasy starter, but just a one-game thing with those guys. Expect to be back next time. On the Denver side, let's see. We'll start with Nikola Jokic. 35 minutes, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 11 of 19 shooting, 4 or 5 from the free throw line, 2 steals, 3 turnovers. They're also going with they're a little depleted as well. They did have Jamal Murray tonight. Played 38 minutes, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists on 7 of 16 shooting, 3 3-pointers, and a steal and a block. Going with Miles Plumlee at the 5 right now. 27 minutes, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists on 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, and a steal. Juan Hernan Gomez, very quiet night from him. Played 28 minutes, but only scored 2 points on 0 of 5 shooting, 2 of 3 from the line, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. No steals, no blocks. Torrey Craig also played 39 minutes, not much value himself, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and a block. Monte Morris, I think this guy is worth streaming until Barton comes back tonight. Played 38 minutes, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 of 11 shooting, 2 3-pointers, 2 steals. Malik Beasley gets 15 minutes, Trey Lyles 13 minutes, and Nick Young, back in the NBA, played 7 minutes. Missing Gary Harris, missing Will Barton, missing Paul Millsap. So it looks like Barton should be back right after Christmas. So that'll be good for them and Barton owners if you're holding on to him. If not, now will be a time to go pick him up, I think, and stash him, because I think he will get back into that 50-ish value once he's playing again. Paul Millsap is out until the 23rd of January, unfortunately, with a toe injury. And Gary Harris is out through the end of the year as well. So I think Monte Morris is going to have value of all these guys that we don't really talk about much. I would take him over Juan Hernan Gomez right now and Mason Plumlee and Trey Lyles. What are your thoughts on someone to stream here in Denver?
I love your take on Morris. He's been, and this guy was not on my radar coming into this season at all. Even at the start of the season, I wondered if he was kind of somewhat of a fluke, but it is no fluke, man. He is a good player and he's playing great for this team. Go get him. Yeah, and I like how you said go get him over. I think Hernan Gomez is definitely should be owned with them missing all of these players. And then Trey Lyles, Neil, previously we talked about Larry Nance Jr. about how if it's not happening with Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love, it's not going to happen. Can we put Trey Lyles in the same category? If he can't have value without Gary Harris out, without Will Barton out, without Paul Millsap not even playing in this one, when is he going to have value? So I'm over Trey Lyles, man. I'm done watching Trey Lyles. Let's put him at the bottom of that list. All right, Neil, any closing thoughts here?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Trey Lyles. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to happen. But you're right. Juan Hernangomez is someone I've been on ever since the injuries came up, and I thought he still might have value with a healthy team. So, yes, he could be owned as well. I think both those guys, like you said, should be owned, or at very least could be owned. And I want to thank you, Adrian, on your commitment to stay through the whole show tonight. It's very, very.
That's Neil.
I love your dedication.
When you think of Adrian Benjamins, I want you to think of commitment, Neil. I am my word is as strong as oak, man. If I say I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here. No, just kidding. You guys, I think that's it. Neil, any closing thoughts on the night? Anything you can think of that we may have missed as far as news or notes?
We didn't miss a thing. We got everything.
All right. We got everything. Don't even look at anything else, you guys. We got it. You guys, we are going into, I believe this is week 10 of the NBA season. We're kind of getting close to that halfway point, especially if you take into account playoffs. So you guys should know now exactly how your team is, what your team needs are. Keep grinding, keep making pickups, keep trying to hammer in those trades, keep improving your team. It is not too late, you guys. Keep doing it. And thank you so much for listening and for supporting the show. Neil, should I wrap a bow on this one? Should I take us out?
Yeah, take us out, man.
Hey, hit us up on Twitter, you guys. He's at Ball with Neil. I'm at Adrian Benjamins. Hit us up. We love to hear from you guys, and we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know how many games there are, but Monday nights are usually pretty good, so we will be back tomorrow. Thanks so much, you guys.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.